Hello everyone, my name is Hadi Sami and welcome to FPL ETC's another brand new video of Game Week Learning. A lot of things happened in the Game Week 5 where the average point was 55. In this video, I would like to discuss some of my findings and learnings with you guys. If you haven't subscribed FPL ETC yet, please do it now and show us your appreciation towards us. Obviously, it means a lot. So let's not waste any time and go deeper into the discussion. So firstly, the match between Newcastle and Leeds were pretty much exciting. I would say one of the most exciting match of this season until now. Attack, counter-attack, lots of pressing, hunger to win, everything was there. Both of the team took 10 shots from inside the box and created a lot of chances. Newcastle 14 and Leeds United 19, and total shots Newcastle 17, Leeds United 22. Leeds scored the first goal through Rafinha, and this man looks like he is going to rock this season as well, just as last season. In the 6.5 million or below that price range, he is probably the best one out there. Bamford has been showing some glimpse of his form, but he has not played according to his full potential yet. Ayling once again showed he doesn't possess any attacking threat at all, and a lot of Leeds defensive players are currently injured, so it would be difficult for them to keep clean sheet right at this moment. And it's worth mentioning that they haven't kept any clean sheet yet at this season. In absence of Callum Wilson, Saint Maximin took the responsibility of attacks of Newcastle United. He produced a brilliant moment of individual performance and scored the leveler of the match. Darlow has been in brilliant form for his team Newcastle. He provided a memorable performance for him. Newcastle currently are now playing with 5 defense, which indicates they have been trying to concede less. Not sure when they would be able to perform according to their expectation, but they are surely on their way to. Now, Wolves versus Brentford. What a match that has been for Brentford. Ivan Toney and Bryan Mbeumo showed their class. Also fantastic performance from Brentford defense as they played with 10 men during the most portion of the second half of the match and yet not conceded a single goal while protecting their 2-goal lead. That brings up the name of Wolves player, a complete lousy performance from Martial after his last match's brilliant performance. You just cannot do that to your opponent striker in the penalty box, and that was a clear penalty. In the second goal, that was a result of bad defending from Wolves, especially from Romain Saiss. Surprisingly, Wolves did not have any on-target shot in the match. Their game build-up is fantastic. Their positive intention can be rated 10 out of 10, but their finishing and final touches can be rated 0, I think, out of 10, as they haven't scored any. The manager has worked pretty much well up to now, but he needs to work more with his attacking options, like as players as Adama Traore, who is continuously failing to click. In this regard, I think I must mention that Adama needs to understand that he isn't in athletics or in sprints, rather he is playing football. I am not actually disrespecting his qualities, but with all the technical and physical abilities he possesses, he should just perform a bit better as a footballer. Lastly, Raul Jimenez. Raul Jimenez seems to overcome his psychological barrier of his head injury. His teammates needs to provide him some sweet balls to bring his strong form back and also back to their winning ways. Now, the match between Liverpool and Crystal Palace at Anfield was a joy to watch for Liverpool supporters and also for the Salah cappers. Salah was tremendous once again and provided 12 points return to his owners. Lots of FPL managers expected Jota's name on the score sheet, but Jota missed several chances in this match. He isn't in his expected form actually in the current moment. Mane played positively than before. Tsimikas was fantastic, as well as Milner, who came to substitute Trent Alexander-Arnold. Crystal actually lost the match in the midfield. They couldn't match the pace with Liverpool's midfield, which was quite likely. Their goalkeeper Guaita seems to be in good form. Zaha was once again there with some of his dribbles, and his dribbles didn't produce anything special. Gallagher had some good positions. Benteke and Edward got some chances but couldn't finish. I think the manager Vieira needs to work with his team's mentality more. For most of the time of Aston Villa versus Everton's match at Villa Park, it seemed like the match was going to be a draw. But suddenly Matty Cash run broke Everton's defense and gave Aston Villa the confidence they needed in front of their own supporters. Then came Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey could be the final solution of their midfield puzzle if he is fit. It's a shame that he had an injury within 22 minutes of coming onto the field. Yet it was enough for him to provide a double-digit haul. Ollie Watkins haven't found himself in the score sheet yet, and Villa captain Mings is spending a lot of time near the opponent box. It won't be surprising if he starts to provide attacking returns while they would have a good fixture run. Everton's defense looks like they haven't found the proper balance yet. They look vulnerable at the set pieces, corners and crosses. Their midfield have been playing good though. Gray caught our eyes once again with his runs and intelligent performances. A lot of FPL managers also did have Lucas Digne in their team, but this man doesn't look sound yet. Scoring an own goal was the cherry on top of his dismal display. Rondon's effort was saved at the earlier stage of the match, and Townsend also created some chances. It would be risky to keep Everton asset until their star performers like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison and James Rodriguez comes back into the team, and also Rafa Benitez has still got a lot of problems to solve. Now, West Ham versus Manchester United. It was expected to be an exciting match, and both teams didn't disappoint the viewers while Manchester United won the match by 2-1. Benrahma produced the opener for the Hammers in front of their own supporters, and their lead didn't stay for a longer period. Hammers felt the absence of Antonio in the attacking moves. They really played purposeful football, while Fornals, Rice, Bowen, Soucek, everyone was positive. The result should have been a draw had Hammers' longest service provider Noble not missed the penalty at the 93rd minute of the match. De Gea was the ultimate hero for Manchester United as he saved the penalty at extra time. Bruno played really well and had an XA of 0.86, though he blanked. Greenwood had another quiet game week, and Ronaldo was fabulous once again. He scored the leveler for Manchester United. He was always in dangerous positions and drew a lot of attention from West Ham defenders all over the match as well. Jesse Lingard came in from the bench and scored the second goal for Manchester United, which ultimately proved to be their winner. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team looks to be on track for their league-winning mission. That was all from FPL ETC for the learning video of Game Week 5. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep an eye on us for upcoming contents. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe FPL ETC on social media. We hope to see you in our next video. Till then, do take care and stay safe.